And so you have this tension of getting your business done in a transparent and open public forum in a way that everybody can attend and participate and see it, and that competes with how much time do I give each individual. So I say all that to say is that this is entirely up to you. The discretion, as the Attorney General has said, is great and wide as to how you regulate the speech from the public.
Thank you. I'm going to ask speakers first and then board discussion. We have 4 speakers: Sharon Campbell, Julie Collier, Kim Sprague, and Don Urbanek, in that order. Sharon.
I'm going to clip all of those individually.
Hi. Thank you for allowing me to speak, because it sounds like you're trying to figure out how not to let people speak. And quite frankly, I find it really interesting that Trustee Hodson put this on the agenda as she's on her way out the door, which I'm guessing is why you wanted to postpone it, because she's not going to be here to live with whatever policy.
Okay, that's not on the, that's huge. We're talking about this policy.
I'm talking about your agenda item.
Yes, not about the person.
So here's the thing. I encourage you listen to the legal ramifications, but you also need to think about the public perception. And this district has a huge problem with public perception. You have all sat up here and said the public doesn't trust us. Well, what better way to make the public trust you less than to tell them you don't really want to hear from them? And so we come from a history of a board that sat in this very building and said, you get to talk twice on one item per meeting, and you get to talk once per year on the same topic. I thought we moved past that, and I hate to see you go back to that. And I encourage you, we kind of all know why this is on here, but consent calendar, and I understand you have business to run and that it takes time, but I think you need to go back and understand that this entire building was built on the consent calendar, that they did it with what was called the lease-leaseback agreement that the California Supreme Court deemed illegal, and then they lied about how they were funding all that. That was all done on the consent calendar. So if you limit speakers to the consent calendar, then you limit the ability to learn from the public about things that are on your agenda. So I encourage you to embrace the community, and when they try to come forward, you're here to represent all of them, not your own interests. So that what better way to learn what the community thinks than to listen to them and hear them? And I get you don't want to hear everything they say, and I do get that it takes time. But you know what? That's the downside to the job you chose to sit here for. So the public is part of your job, and you should have to listen to them, because they do bring great wisdom. And all of this, Martha, was on this topic.
Thank you, Sharon. Julie Collier.